I've been asking all the players the same question. What is the one drill you swear by has helped you the most? And because you can do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
It could be something off cut, anything you want, bro.
Man, what drill?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably a shooting drill for me.
Yeah.
Just like, you know what I mean, get the right form and everything like that. So probably a shooting drill. Everything else I can, you know what I mean, I can work on.
Yeah. What about defense? What's your favorite defense?
Slides, defensive slides. Just staying low, getting back and forth, getting quicker. Just be able to get to your left, get back to your right, and just, you know what I mean, all that stuff, and be able to jump with it too. That's the best drills for me.
What's been the hard thing, learning everything on the Warriors? Because I
Yeah.
talked to Steve about it, he was like, it's not as difficult, it's just about step.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on?
Like you said, it's not as difficult because they play good basketball, and you know they've been kind of running this style of play in the system for a while. And I mean, I played against them a good amount of times. You know, being in the Western Conference and playing them in the playoffs. So yeah, I kind of know their system, I kind of know their style of play, and I think we're just trying to revamp it a little bit and just, you know, get it going a little faster. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's been fun. We got like 20 dudes here, and they can all pretty much go. You know what I mean? So I think that's important with the competition level. But everybody over here, it's been real cool. And I mean, Hawaii been my best training camp. You know, just because of location. You know, other places I've either stayed in town or I went to Colorado one year. I went to South Carolina one year. So it's probably my best place-wise training camp. Yeah. I mean, just like that, playing any position. I mean, that's what I can do. That's what I love to do, just to help the team win in any possible way. And I feel like my skill set translates to a lot of different ways. So I think using me in different, you know, ways is important.
Small ball 5?
Nah, that's too. No. That's too small. That's too small. I'll go to that 4 though, but small ball 5, that's a little tough. We got enough 4s and 5s to do, and 3s to do that.
I mean, this team is not afraid to put some.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'll get in there and bang with the big boys, but nah.
Kevon, how did the scrimmages go today, you think?
I think it was really good. It was short, but everybody competed. We executed at a high level. We played with a lot of pace. So it was, I think it was a great day, just for the 4th day in a row.
How's everybody been acclimating to the new terminology and the installations that coaches are trying to get on?
I think it's been really good. I think it's the loudest we've been in training camp as far as communicating, talking. The new guys are great talkers on the defense end. I think we're picking up everything pretty fast.
Steve said that like Draymond helped you become more vocal. How has Trace been more vocal so far, and from rookie season to year 2?
He's just talking more. You can tell he's much more comfortable out there. He's talking even with the new terminology. He's like picking up pretty fast, and he's using his voice. You know, as a big, that's probably the most important thing we got to do on defense end. Start rebounding and blocking shots, but you got to talk our guards through actions, and for him to pick up the actions that fast, they're really good.
I heard you hit a game-winning 3.
A couple days ago. I don't even know if it was game winning. It was practice ending 3.
So I've been watching your high school mixtapes, and are we seeing a little return of high school Looney?
I wouldn't say that, but you know, I'm just going out there, just want to be more aggressive. You know, still do what I do to help our team. But you know, if I get an open shot, my teammates and the coaches encourage me to take it. And I've been putting in the work to do it, and I'm looking forward to expanding my game some more.
How do you figure out how to niche down your role? Because in the NBA, all these players are so good. They can do a bit of everything, really, if you tell them to. And you've been so instrumental in your roles. How do you figure that out when it comes to this?
You know, I watch a lot of basketball. You know, kind of know myself. And then you got to see what your team wants you to do to win. You know, coach asked me to do a certain job, and I try to go out there and be the best version of myself at it. You know, I had a lot of great veterans to show me the way, and I kind of followed what they taught me, and I carved out a role for myself.
Loon, how do you going to remember this week in this camp?
Just being in Hawaii for the probably since I've been there, that was my first time. First time starting training camp somewhere else, so it's just been a lot of fun just to hanging out with the guys, experience something new. A lot of time on the beach and a lot of hard practice, so it's been a lot of fun.
Before I start, I just want to say thank you to BYU Hawaii, to President Callaway, all the students. The hospitality here has been incredible. Everybody's been so nice. Great setup. It's really been a wonderful way to start training camp and start our season. So and everybody on the North Shore, it's been a beautiful experience. So thank you to everyone. Go ahead.
Is it safe to assume that Blue Reef's going to be your starting?
No, it's definitely. In fact, it's safe to assume that will not be the starting. Yeah.
Just big picture, being able to spend the week here with the team, beyond what you guys were able to accomplish here, what do you think this setup allowed this group to do that you might not have been able to do with the Bay?
Well, number one, it's just good to get a fresh approach to training camp. When you go away, everybody spends more time together than if they were at home. A lot of guys brought family members. One of the things that I think our franchise does an amazing job of is to take care of the families, take care of the players and look after them. And a lot of these guys are, bringing their families to Hawaii for the first time. That's pretty cool. That's a good perk. And so I'm always very proud of our organization and what we do for our players and their families. But the bonding amongst the players, that's important, and these guys have done that this week in a good way. What steps forward? Just got to keep keep on the rise that he's on. I think he's gotten better and better every year. The three-point shot is a big deal, especially in the modern NBA. For him to be able to catch and shoot consistently will open up the floor for him and for others. And then defensively, just continuing to get better and using that athleticism, that force in a way that really impacts our opponents. And those are the things that we're focused on. Yeah, I think Kevon is he's a really good player. He's so athletic and long. It's obvious why he was lottery pick. But like a lot of guys in the modern NBA who are getting picked early with very little experience, there's just a learning curve and a growth process. And it's hard for that to play out in a normal time anymore because everyone wants instant results. And so I'm just really impressed with Kevon's approach, his professionalism, how hard he's working. I think he's had a good camp. I think he's a very good player. He definitely belongs in the NBA, but needs to play. He needs more reps.
The principles.
How do I feel? I'm sorry. Oh, I love having the soldiers here today, and yeah, you're welcome. We're really glad to be able to host you, and I think any chance we get to honor our servicemen and women who are protecting us and providing our freedom that we enjoy, we are very grateful for that. So thank you, and yeah, glad you were able to enjoy it.
The principles that you guys worked to install this week. Did you like what you saw in terms of those during the scrimmage? Yeah,
like we're emphasizing transition offense, transition defense, improving in both areas. That's tied together by not only concepts of when to crash on offensive glass, when to get back, but also fundamentals of sharp passing and good decision making. And so we're emphasizing all that stuff. With the concepts that we're teaching of who's where, spacing on offense, picking up the ball on defense, and getting into our shell and getting out to shooters. It's not as easy as just teaching. It all has to tie together over time. And so, given that we've had 4 days, it's gone very well.
You have Melton at point, and then where all can you play him? Do you think? Melton?
Who? We can play Melton anywhere. That's what I love about Anthony is his versatility. He can handle the ball and run your offense a little bit. He's a really good shooter off the ball. He can guard multiple positions. And I think he's a guy who connects lineups. I've been really impressed with the whole team in terms of the movement and catching and swinging the ball. And he's really good at that, and that's an important quality in the game.
How's Wiggins?
Unfortunately, did not practice today, and you know, it's disappointing especially for him because he showed up in such great shape. But you know, he's still out, so we'll just get an update, I guess, when we get back to the Bay. We obviously won't play tomorrow. You know.
Have you ever tried incorporating Rick Barry's underhand form?
No. And if you ever want to be a basketball coach, I highly recommend that you don't try to get one of your players to shoot that way. They will lose faith in you as a coach right away. So.
Coach, you've been part of a lot of teams, and now you have a lot of new pieces on your team. What do you think is the hardest thing to learn part of the Warriors offense when you come here?
Well, what we run isn't that complicated. It's more that Steph Curry is a one-man offense in and of himself, and so a lot of stuff that just happens, you know, after the play happens, the play after the play, or you know, what do they call it in football? Like off, you know. Well, there's an expression in football. What is that? Like when the quarterback gets flushed out of the pocket, like. Off system, off script, whatever, something, you know, like that stuff. Like you have to learn how to play with Steph, and he's so unlike anybody else that there's some concepts that are trickier to pick up. But if you can pick them up and you see them, a lot of good stuff happens from there.
Hey, Coach, you're a Pac-10 guy. I mean, it was Pac-12 recently. Now it's dissolved. What Big 12 schools do you wish you got the chance to play back in college?
I think Kansas for sure. You know, they won the national title my senior year. Oklahoma beat us in the Final Four, so we actually did get to play a couple of, at the time, I think Big 8 schools. Maybe it was Big 12 already. I don't remember, but Kansas is the one, right? They're the ones with the tradition, and I got to play at Fog Allen in an exhibition game with the Bulls one year, and that's an iconic arena, and I loved playing there. That would have been fun in college.
Would that have changed your recruiting at all? Would you have gone to another school if Arizona was in the Big 12?
Given that Arizona was the only school that recruited me, it would not have changed anything. So.
Coach, how's Lindy coming along? What are you learning about him?
Lindy's great. I've had a lot of really strong feedback from Mark Daigneault and Chip England. You know, Chip was with us, Team USA this summer, and you know, Mark and I stay in touch. So after we made the trade, we talked, and they're both really high on him, and I can see why. He's smart, tough, shoots it well, either catch and shoot or coming off pin downs. He's more than just a shooter. He's got good size, good player, and fun to play with. Like, and no matter who we put him with, things flow really well.
10 camps now with Loon. What has it meant for you to just coach him for so long and be a part of his journey?
Loon is he's just one of those guys who helps set the tone for the daily rituals, the culture, you know, what it's supposed to look like for the younger players. Like, you just point at Loon. You say, you see what this guy does every day, putting his work in, bringing in the energy, the enthusiasm, soaking up the knowledge, sharing that knowledge with his teammates. The guy's the ultimate pro, and he also, by the way, showed up in great shape and looks really good.
You talked about Trace needing to play with more force. What does that look like?
Trace?
Yeah, play with like more force. What's that look like, and how have you seen his next step in being more force?
Yeah, I think you know, when you get to your second, third years in the league, you start to see the pictures a little more cleanly and maybe make the cut a little harder, be a little more demonstrative in your defensive rotation, sprint the floor, all those things. You know, Trace is a guy who's, I think he's faster in transition than he looks. He sort of has this like upright gait that lulls you to sleep a little bit. But when he plays downhill, he's an explosive athlete, and you know that should start to show itself more and more.
He's an athlete for you with the serve. Have you kind of pushed him to be a little more vocal on the floor as well?
Yeah. We're trying to get him to talk more. It's so important that the 5-man defensively is calling out the coverages and letting the guards know what's happening. And Draymond taught Loon. It took Loon 2 years to say anything. Trace is going to be a difficult one as well. Quentin, we're trying to teach him the same thing. But, you know, it's a balance. These young guys come in and you appreciate the respectful, you know, approach of I'm not going to overstep my bounds, but at the same time, you want them screaming out the coverage. Whatever the coverage is, they need to be yelling that out, and we're working on that with those guys.
Trace actually said that the drill that he helped him the most so far has actually been the transition drill, kind of like what you were saying. And I asked Kyle Anderson what his one, and he said it's been a George Mikan drill. What do you think has been your favorite drill as a player or as a coach that he's helped out?
Yeah, I was a shooter, so I had a lot of shooting drills that I like to operate. There's one which is called a windshield wiper, where you're going back and forth and you're just getting a lot of reps in, and then you know that's a good drill because it simulates a lot of the shots that you get, and it gives you conditioning and stuff.
Hey Coach, your rookie year in Phoenix, you played on a team with Jeff Hornacek and Craig Hodges. I mean, that's some 3 great shooters. Who would win shooting competitions between you?
Man, those guys were they're both great shooters. Yeah, I mean, they would definitely beat me at that time. You know, I needed some time to catch up to them, but they were great shooters. Eddie Johnson was on that team. He was a very underrated shooter. I'd put him against anybody, but yeah, those were fun days.
Would you have a nickname for that trio? It can't be the Splash Brothers. Who would it be?
Yeah, sorry, I'm not the guy for that. Somebody else have to pick it out. Yeah.